Welcome back, troglodytes, to another edition of Trogley's Guitars. Today we have a beautiful 1976 Gibson Les Paul Artisan. These are the Hearts and Flowers model that Gibson did. I think it was 76 through 81 or 82 that they made these guys. This is a first year, 1976. However, it's not the super early 76. My old one in my personal collection, you get some serial numbers that start with a single letter that Gibson only did in very early 75 when they were kind of transitioning into the decal years, and then eventually what they continue to use up until today. So the transitional models with those serial numbers are a little bit harder to find because there weren't very many, but this is still a first year 76. I mean, minus some prototypes maybe in 74, 75. Which I would think prototypes would only be in 75, if there's any out there. So if you're looking for a collector's piece, when I initially bought this guitar, I thought this was it. But I get it. I look at the back, it's all chewed up. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. So this isn't going to be your $5,500 Artisan here. But, you know, it's not that bad. So let's take a look here. You do have a little bit to go over on this one. The headstock is fairly clean. I'm not seeing any major nicks or dings here. But you can see the beautiful hearts and flowers. I guess it's mainly just flowers on the headstock and the pre-war Gibson logo that only these Artisans had in the 70s. You got the Artisan branded truss rod cover there. Truss rod works fine. Now you got your inlays here, which thankfully they're all intact. And none of them are falling out. Sometimes you got that issue. You do have some very light fret wear. I mean, nothing major. I polished and cleaned the frets. But you can see there are very little tiny starts to divots. But these Artisans are getting hard to find. They used to be kind of plentiful on the market, but now it really truly is getting very difficult to find nice clean examples that haven't had any changes and are in good condition. One of the hardest things is finding gold humbuckers that haven't been super tarnished. Now don't get me wrong, these have tarnishing, as you can see here, especially around there, but it's not too bad. You know, from afar it still looks pretty clean, and everything is original on this guitar. You do have wear on the stop tail bar there, but honestly, those are pretty easy to find. You could replace that out if you really wanted to. And the pickguard does show some light scratches, as well as the rest of the guitar. I mean, you could probably polish nearly all these little scratches off. No routing under the pickguard or anything like that. But as you see, there are some light playing wear scratches and some dings. Looks like a little bit of finish checking right there. Those aren't like scratches. It almost looks just like checking to me. Got a ding there, and I think, is there any more by the knobs, or is that it? Looks like that's the worst of it right there. But there's no breaks, cracks, or repairs on this example. But as you can see, there are quite a few light dings. Average play wear, but definitely needs to be mentioned. Should not be sold as an excellent condition just because it looks clean. It needs to be noted. Now there is a little ding somewhere around here. Let's see if we can find it. I think it's right there. Yeah, there's a ding on the front. Dings on the front of guitars always bother me. That one's not too bad, but it is there. So if that's a qualifier for you, unfortunately this one won't pass the no dings on the front test. But this top is interesting. When you photograph it like this, you can see how it turns dark. Then you go this way and it's kind of light again. I mean, it's got kind of a unique flame top to it. It's not super flamed, but what is flamed and curled turns dark at certain angles, as compared to just being light like that. Once again, we'll show you that. The transition of light like this, no figuring. And then we'll show you as it starts to figure. awesome, awesome piece of wood. You've also got that going on the back of the guitar, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's enough of the pretty front. Let's take a look at the back here. Les Paul Artisan, 1976, you can know because it says 06. If it said 99 at the front, that'd be a 75. As you can see, that is a decal under there, as it should be. And you do have some dings on the headstock here that are impressions, but nothing too bad. But they are there. No breaks, cracks, or repairs. Let's keep it that way. And the back of the neck, surprisingly, is clean. Now you might be saying, hey Trogley, what's this mark? Is that a stand rash there? Bad, bad, bad. Nope. That's just actually just more of that figuring in the wood, except for it always stays there. It's kind of interesting. So there again, we'll show you as you change angles how the parts of the guitar actually gets darker. It's all in that unique flame. And just because it looks like walnut and whatnot, these are maple tops, maple necks. They're not anything different than usual. So very cool figuring. I love stuff like this because if your guitar gets stolen, they take your serial number off, at least you have that identifying factor. I love it when a guitar has that. It's their own personal beauty mark. Now look at that perfect back. No damage at all. Until you get in the light. Yeah, this guitar was sold to me as like mint condition. And let's say I wasn't a happy camper when I got it. So it wasn't what I was looking for my standards. But the back is pretty torn up. I won't lie. As you can see, it is pretty torn badly. And it's a real shame because everything else about this guitar is perfect. However, when you don't have the light on it, it does look perfect. So it's all in the clear coat. I mean, if you really wanted to, I could send this down to my luthier and we could refinish the back in a nice clear. We can probably slightly age it. That way it can match the binding and whatnot. And all of this would disappear. Because I don't believe any of that is even into the wood. So it would disappear, but I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would just leave it as is. But if you love this example, just like I do, but you hate the back, it's an option. We'll leave it out there. We can fix it 100%, but I'm not going to do it. So in here, you've got some scratching on the back plate. We can't get rid of that besides replacing the back plate with the back plate, which we could also do. You have everything original in there. 76 pots. You got your ashtray tin cover, which was like full of dust. I cleaned that out because it was just disgusting. Like, not your normal dust either. I'm not quite sure what happened in there. Now you can see where there's been a strap that's kind of been slicing the finish there. You could probably polish most of that out. I mean, it's nothing too terribly bad. But you do have some smudges, light scratches, but I don't think any major dings. It looks like you have a very, very slight stand rash there on the side. Very slight. Nothing too bad. And if I remember correctly, yeah, you've got some light binding cracks. Let's see if we can focus in on this. There we go. You can kind of see those light binding cracks. That just happens as humidity kind of goes. But they are there. I will disclose them. Looks like you got that little bit of stand rash. And when I say that, that's that darker yellow spot you're seeing right past the input jack on the binding. So very mild stand rash, but stand rash nonetheless. But this is a beautiful example. It's a real shame about the back, but it's still a very clean example. The only thing I would say is maybe swap out this tailpiece, and it's a perfect display guitar if you're looking for a collector grade Artisan. Just don't show the back to anybody. Front only guitar. So it does come with its original case. This case has me a little bit baffled because I've never seen one like this. Obviously, we've seen one that says Gibson like that, but the interior is actually blue, like a nice aqua blue. So I'm almost thinking this has been reupholstered at some time. I've never personally, I don't think, seen this blue. It's possible though, because 76 is kind of transitional. This might be a very rare case. But I'm almost going to guarantee you that this purple stuff is definitely not original and has been added. That would be my guess. You do have some of the original paperwork in here. This is just kind of a printout from 2001. Tells you about your guitar. Nothing too special, but this is where the special part is. You have the Gibson letter from the original owner here. I guess his name was Greg Palmer. So let's take a look at this stuff, because you don't always get to see this. The warranty cards, yes, you see these fairly common. But usually they're not filled out. You can pause the video if you want to read it. But this was sold originally by the House of Guitar, which is still in business today, if it's the same one I'm thinking of. HOG, a Les Paul Artisan. But this is something you don't see every day, this thing. Congratulations on your Gibson instrument. Now, these warranty registration cards are also hard to find, but finding it in this original thing, even better. So this one sat around for a while. It was a 1976. It sat in House of Guitars until 79. We're lucky it didn't have the same fate as some of these Artisans, being sent back to the factory, being stamped second, so it could be sold cheaper. But yeah, that's the original owner. And there's that. So, if you think you might be interested in owning this beautiful Gibson Les Paul Artisan, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Trogoys. Check out the Reverb and eBay listings. And, well, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see all these great guitars as we bring them to the open market. All right, Troglodytes, thank you for tuning in to this special edition, and we will catch you next time. Bye.